You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon, I'm Brady Mallory.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We have some breaking news at 4 o'clock. Authorities have identified the man who died after jumping from a pontoon boat on Lake Mendota earlier this week. 33-year-old Omar Brito from Fitchburg was reported missing Monday night after jumping into the water near Warner Beach without a life jacket. His body was recovered the following day. A forensics exam did confirm he died from accidental drowning.
New allegations tonight concerning the Madison priest charged with trying to meet a fictional 14-year-old girl for sex.
And now a woman has come forward claiming she was sexually assaulted by that same priest in Chicago.
Armand Rahman has more on that story. And Armand, I understand this is different from what the Diocese of Madison has been saying.
That's right, Brady and Sarah. I did reach out to the diocese for comment on today's accusations against Father Andrew Showers, but have not yet heard back. The diocese has said it's not aware of any other sexual misconduct allegations against Showers besides an incident in 2021 which was not prosecuted and the recent crime he's been charged with in Clintonville. Now, we do warn you the details of some of these allegations may be graphic for some viewers. Now, Patricia Moriarty claims that at a bar in Chicago in January 2024, Showers groped her under her clothes and used aggressive sexual language towards her when she was 23 years old. Moriarty says she felt the need to publicly come forward in hopes that other potential victims of Showers or others feel empowered.
In my experience, this decision was far from easy. It meant revisiting an experience that left me feeling powerless. Staying silent would only protect those who are selfish and wrong.
Now, Moriarty and her father claimed they went to the Diocese of Madison when that incident happened and reported the allegations and requested to speak to Bishop Donald Hying, but did not hear anything from the bishop. That's when Moriarty says she filed a police report with the Chicago Police Department. Now, I've requested that document from Chicago Police, and I've been trying to get in touch with the diocese all day. As soon as they respond, I'll bring that information to you on air and online on channel3000.com.
All right, thank you so much, Armand. It's time to turn to weather. Let's get a look at that first warn forecast. Hard to say when it's so chilly out there, Blaze, huh?
Yeah, I had to break out the light jacket. I took out the inner part, so it's not as thick of a winter coat, but definitely with some breezy conditions and a little bit cooler temperatures, you may need that light jacket this evening. We're sitting underneath partly sunny conditions right now. We're getting ready for our next round of rain, which is set to arrive later this evening. Probably no sooner than 10 o'clock tonight will we start to see those showers move on in out of northwestern parts of Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, as well as northeastern Iowa. These are going to be light in nature, very quickly moving through the Wisconsin area by about 1 o'clock, 2 at the latest. We're done with the rain, and we're going to be left with breezy conditions and slowly going from mostly cloudy to partly sunny as we go throughout the rest of your Friday. So upper 40s to low 50s this evening. We could be dealing with some breezy conditions as well, but especially breezy conditions as we head into Friday. A current look at Lake Mendota outside the Union Terrace at 62 degrees. It feels like 62, but what makes it so nice outside, despite, feeling maybe slightly chilly, are those low dew points. Upper 30s to low 40s. It is very pleasant feeling outside. Again, we'll get some sunshine and some cloud cover here and there. We talked about the rain chance this evening. We're going to talk about the warm-up, and I use that term loosely, but the warm-up that's on the way, that's coming up in the full forecast.
Thank you, Blaze. The Janesville Police Department says 52 minutes a day can have a big impact on your community. The department posted this video on its Facebook in search of crossing guards for the school year. The post reads that they are looking for people from 7:50 to 8:20 in the morning and 3:08 to 3:30 in the afternoon on school days. In this video, they also laid out how you can benefit from helping as a crossing guard.
Well, I have a deal for you. For 52 minutes a day, an opportunity to make $24 right down here at Oak Hill and Kellogg. Come on down. And that's not all, folks. Every new crossing guard walks away with their brand new stop sign panel. You get to cross the street, hold up the paddle, look for traffic, and make sure our children are safe.
I'm getting Price is Right vibes. Come on down. Yep. Well, if you're interested in joining, head to the City of Janesville website, go to the Human Resources Hiring tab, and click School Crossing Guard. Applicants must have a high school diploma or an equivalent.
And we have some good news in Madison. A man who had been reported missing since last Wednesday has been found safe. Karsten Walker was reported missing after his niece went to his apartment to meet him, but there was no answer. Officers were called to Nakusa Trail to help in the search. No details, though, have been released on Walker's condition or how he was found.
Also in Madison, police have arrested a man who is accused of rear-ending a woman's car and shattering her passenger side window with a hammer following a road rage incident. At about 11 last night, police were called to Dairy and Femrite Drives, just northwest of Upper Mud Lake, for reports of a man following a woman around the city after an argument about money. The man was booked on tentative charges of criminal damage to property while armed, disorderly conduct while armed, and held on a probation hold.
The 4 men who pleaded guilty in the death of Devontae Mitchell outside a Milwaukee hotel last year have learned their fate. This is video of Brandon Turner, who pleaded guilty to murder. He was sentenced to 12 months probation. Herbert Williamson and Devin Johnson Carson both pleaded guilty to misdemeanor battery, and they were both sentenced to time served. Todd Erickson pleaded guilty to murder, and he was sentenced to probation. Milwaukee Judge Dave Swanson said this during Brandon Turner's sentencing.
It's clear that Mr. Turner did not intend to cause Mr. Mitchell's death. It's very clear from the video. It's clear from all of the facts that have been placed before the court that this was unfortunately an accident, and a terrible accident that was caused by a series of factors and occurrences.
The 4 men worked at the hotel at the time of the incident. Mitchell entered a women's bathroom at the hotel and died after being held down by the men. The assistant medical examiner determined that he suffered restraint asphyxia, and he also had drugs in his system.
Getting health insurance through your job could be getting even more expensive. Employer benefits consulting firm Mercer collected the numbers in a survey, and it found workers can expect to pay, on average, an additional 6 to 7% in premiums next year. Some employers say they'll try to limit those increases, but that typically means you'll pay higher deductibles and out-of-pocket costs instead. The projected increase is the steepest cost hike in 15 years. Well, next on Live at 4, Josh is going back to school in the 608, this time in Waunakee.
And Josh will tell us how the district is kicking off this year with energy, teamwork, and a unique welcome that even had the superintendent joining in.
Then, after a cold night, temperatures are hovering around normal with some possible showers overnight. Blaze is back with the full first warn forecast.
And RFK Jr. is facing criticism on Capitol Hill after the most recent firing of the director of the CDC. His defense of this decision and opponents of the decision who say it is not based on science.
Our back to school coverage continues in the 608, and we are visiting some local districts this week.
Josh Breiter is at Waunakee High School with what's going on this year.
Well, back to school season is in full swing as kids are back in the classroom. That includes here at the Waunakee Community School District, and we're lucky enough to have their superintendent joining us today here on News 3 Now, Dr. Monica Kelsey Brown. Superintendent, thank you so much for having us out.
Yes, thank you for joining us today.
You know, this has been a big week for you. How are things going here at Waunakee?
Everything is going really well. First day of school was seamless. Smiles on kids' faces, high energy from our teachers and our administrators. Everything is going very well so far.
This is a big week. Obviously, you guys put the welcome wagon out here at a lot of the schools. That includes here at the high school.
That's right.
And why is it so important to have that positive energy right from the get-go?
Well, how you set the tone for your school district it really is how you will navigate the entire school year, right? So when we start with high energy, our goal is to continue that energy throughout the school year. Last week was our welcome back week, and I had an opportunity to do a line dance with our cheer team and our dance team, boots on the ground. And what boots on the ground means actually is to be present and be ready. And so the idea that day was for all of us, administrators, teachers, board members also line danced with us. It was awesome.
That's fun.
And so just for all of us to be present and be ready for our students every day in every way, giving them what they need to be successful once they leave our school district, they will be productive citizens of society, and that's our goal.
Yeah, and that's the Waunakee way, right? That's
yes.
your slogan, and that's what you believe in, and it takes a village. You have all of the right people, but it takes everyone from the ground up to be able to make this happen.
Absolutely. No one can do this work alone, and so we need our parents, our students, our board members, our community members, our administrators, our teachers. It takes everyone, our custodians, our administrative assistants. It takes everyone to be able to do this work. I oftentimes say there's no I in team, right? And so we are all a team together, and together everyone achieves more, and that's what we do here in the Waunakee Community School District.
What would be your best advice for families, trying to get the most out of their child's education this year?
Make sure students have a routine. We love to have our students here every day, and so 95% attendance for students. When they're here, we know they're present and they're ready to learn. And continuing to support them at home, reading with them at home, and understanding what's happening in the classrooms so that information can transfer to our households where they can also support their students as we continue to make sure they grow in every way.
And make it the best year ever, right?
Make it the best year yet. That's
awesome.
it. Yes.
Superintendent, thank you so much for having us in Waunakee. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about what's happening here at the Waunakee Community School District, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. At Waunakee High School, I'm Josh Breiter, News 3 Now.
Thanks, Josh. Let's get a look at your first warn forecast. Rain is expected for parts of our area tonight. Blaze, who will get the rain and how fast will it move through?
Likely all of us will see a little bit of rain, especially north. That's where you're going to have a better chance for more of that rainfall throughout the evening hours, but it is going to move rather quickly. In by about 9, 10 o'clock tonight, out by 1, 2 o'clock Friday morning, and then we're going to be slowly clearing, but we are going to remain windy as we go throughout Friday. The weekend is looking to stay on the fall-like side. Temperatures are expected to be in the low to mid 60s as we go into not only your Saturday, but Sunday as well. However, we are saying goodbye to these cooler than normal temperatures, but it comes after the weekend. We'll stop future track at about Monday. That's when we're starting to ease out of the cooler than normal temperatures. We're starting to welcome back some warmer than average temperatures marked by the red there. And for folks who maybe this was just enough of fall, we're not quite ready for it yet, there is some good news as well. Looks like we're going to be possibly trending warmer than average as we head into the middle of September. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, 10 to 20 degrees cooler than average. We might not even get into the low 60s to end the work week, but as I mentioned, the low 60s do return Saturday and Sunday. And then starting Wednesday onward next week, that's when we start to ease more into seasonable temperatures, if not slightly above average. Not looking at a big warm up, certainly not in those upper 80s to low 90s, but we're not going to be hanging out 10 to 20 degrees below where we should be for this time of year. And again, the darker the colors, whether it's red or blue, is just the confidence level. So is there a strong indication that we could be warming up? We're sitting at about a 50 to 60% chance as we head from about the 10th through the 14th. So likely starting here over within the next week to week and a half, we'll start to ease back into more late summer, early fall temperatures instead of more of the middle of fall temperatures. We continue to see that confidence remaining high over parts of not only Wisconsin, but the plains and the rest of the Midwest as we get from the 12th through the 18th. This is about a 60 to 70% chance of being warmer than average. Keep in mind, though, as we continue to make our way out of summer into fall, our average high temperature during the daytime and overnight are going to start to cool on down. So we may be just a degree or two warmer, but again, that's still going to be technically warmer than average. And we're also going to remain quiet other than that rain chance tonight. So when the Badgers take on the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders on over the weekend on Saturday, it is looking to be like a very pleasant football. Also, Friday night football is looking to be pleasant as well. Tailgate, because kickoff is at 3 p.m., late morning, early afternoon, we'll hang out in the mid-50s, low 60s as we go into the 3 p.m. time frame, and then we're hanging out in those low 60s to upper 50s after the Badgers win, of course. And if you're going to be heading up to Lambeau Field on Sunday when the Packers take on the Lions, or if you're not going to be heading up there, you can watch it here at Channel 3. It's going to be another pleasant football day as well. We're looking at partly to mostly sunny conditions, light winds. Again, perfect football weather for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday Night Football. There is a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. Not a whole lot going on in terms of rain chances other than tonight. We'll have to hold off on those rain chances until maybe the middle of next week. But those temperatures do rebound. We'll go from the upper 50s to low 60s tomorrow to the low 60s the weekend. And then we're flirting with the 70s on Monday. And we should all be in those low to mid 70s starting Tuesday through that following weekend.
All right, thank you, Blaze. Well, News 3 Now's 40th annual Coats for Kids campaign kicks off next Monday, September 8th, with a day-long Pack the Truck event. It's from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. A Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County van will be stationed at Clinky Cleaners on Monona Drive collecting donations. Organizers say there is a particular need for infant, toddler, and larger teen sizes for coats and accessories, though adult coats are welcome too. Donations can also be dropped off anytime between next Monday and October 4th at any Clinky Cleaners in Dane County or at the News 3 Now lobby.
And coming up on Live at 4, after a judge ruled the National Guard's deployment in Los Angeles as illegal,
a group in Washington, D.C. is suing to stop the Guard's deployment there. That and more coming up just after this. We start with the numbers on Wall Street today. The Dow is up 350 points, the Nasdaq up 209, the S&P gained 53.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is testifying on Capitol Hill for the first time since the massive shakeup at the CDC.
It comes as a large number of both current and former public health officials call for his resignation. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
Testifying before lawmakers Thursday, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. defended last week's shakeup at the nation's top health agency.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC.
The ranking Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee pressed him on the firing of CDC Director Susan Monteraz.
Did you, in fact, do what Director Monteraz said you did, which is tell her to just go along with vaccine recommendations, even if she didn't think such recommendations aligned with scientific evidence?
No, I did not.
Ahead of the hearing, a letter from 1,000 current and former HHS staffers called for Secretary Kennedy to step down, arguing his actions are compromising public health.
On behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time.
The Trump administration has defended Kennedy, even as public health experts sound the alarm over new guidelines restricting eligibility for COVID vaccines and his overhaul of a key vaccine advisory panel. Republican Senators Bill Cassidy and John Barrasso, who are also doctors, voiced their concerns during the hearing.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
There are real concerns that safe, proven vaccines like measles, like hepatitis B and others could be in jeopardy.
Another GOP doctor, Senator Roger Marshall, defended Kennedy.
What you and I are fighting for is we want to empower parents to make these decisions.
Kennedy testified today HHS is enacting a, quote, once-in-a-generation shift to tackle the root causes of chronic disease. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
In June, Secretary Kennedy removed all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices, or ACIP, and replaced them with hand-picked officials. That panel is set to meet later this month to consider updated vaccine recommendations.
In Washington, D.C., leaders are suing the Trump administration for deploying the National Guard to that city. The lawsuit accuses the president of violating the Constitution and federal law by sending troops in without local approval. It also claims those troops are illegally acting as local police by patrolling neighborhoods and carrying out searches and arrests. The White House responded, saying the president has lawful authority to deploy the Guard, and a spokesperson adds that the lawsuit is an attempt to undermine the administration's effort to curtail violent crime in the city.
Preparations are underway in one Chicago suburb ahead of what local officials expect will be a large-scale federal immigration operation ordered by President Trump. The mayor of Broadview this week informed residents and business owners that she's been contacted by federal immigration officials of a major enforcement operation to begin soon. She says an immigration and customs enforcement facility in the suburb will serve as the primary processing location for people detained. Meanwhile, state leaders in Illinois believe the National Guard will be in Chicago by the weekend.
Well, coming up on Live at 4, Blaze is tracking some showers and cooler weather in the first warn forecast.
And later, shocking video of what appears to be an attack at a barn in Iowa County. What police and those involved say about the video.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4. I am not ashamed to admit I grabbed a cardigan today.
Oh boy, I had a fleece on.
A whole fleece. Wow.
Early in the morning though.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it's been a little chilly. Like we are sailing right into fall right now.
Exactly.
Well, we do have some weather words for you today. A quick rain. Good thing for that bee. He can have a little snack and then skedaddle out of there. First warn meteorologist Blaze Keller joins us from the patio with what we can expect tonight. Blaze?
Yeah, that rain is going to be moving in probably no sooner than 10 o'clock tonight and then continue to quickly move on through, wrapping up by 2 at the latest 3 Friday morning, and then we're left with more sunshine as the day goes on. So there's a look on Future Track when that rain moves on in. Maybe a rumble of thunder. Otherwise, we're looking at just rain showers. The cold front is going to move on through, and that's going to bring more breezy conditions and cooler temperatures as we look to end the work week. So we're talking maybe a quarter of an inch of rain at best. When you get to the blue, that's where we get to about a half an inch. So anybody in the green, whether it's dark or light green, that's less than a half an inch of rain. Further to the north, you're closer to that center of low pressure. You're going to get a better chance for more of those heavier showers. And again, maybe a rumble of thunder or two. Tomorrow is going to be even cooler than today. We're looking at the upper 50s, possibly the low 60s. Some of us will struggle to even get into those low 60s. Couple that with northwesterly winds gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour at times. It is going to be a very fall-like day. We should be still near 80 for this time of year. But many of us, as I mentioned, will be in those mid to upper 50s. Now, earlier in the newscast, we talked about the warm-up, so we'll recap some of those warmer temperatures that we are expecting and when they will arrive. We'll also talk about the winds tomorrow when they'll start to die on down and what's ahead for the upcoming weekend in the full forecast.
Thank you, Blaze. We are continuing to follow developing news at 4. A Fitchburg man has been identified after a fatal boating accident on Lake Mendota. 33-year-old Omar Brito was missing on Monday at about 6 p.m. That's when he jumped from a pontoon boat near Warner Beach without a life jacket. His body was recovered the next day, and officials say he died from accidental drowning.
And now to a barn fight that was caught on camera in Iowa County. Video of this attack back on August 17th has now gone viral.
Now the victim's attorney is speaking out. Taneja Shaw shows us, and we do want to warn you, this video may be hard to watch.
Attorney B. Ivory Lamar is asking for charges for the people seen attacking a 14-year-old in the town of Pulaski.
My main purpose is to ensure that there is accountability for what took place back on August 17th. What the world has now saw was a video depicting a very brutal beatdown of a 14-year-old African-American.
This video takes place at what Iowa County Sheriff's Department is calling a, quote, large gathering with underage drinking. In the video, you can see a group of what looks like white males picking up a 14-year-old African-American boy and throwing him to the ground. Lamar said the group also called the victim racial slurs. Since we do not know the ages of everyone involved and charges have not been filed, we are not naming anyone or clearly showing their faces.
It's now been over 2 weeks, and we have not seen charges referred to the district attorney's office, so we want to ensure that that is done and that justice is brought expeditiously.
I'll have more from the attorney tonight at 6. Reporting in the newsroom, Taneja Shaw, News 3 Now.
Taneja, thank you. And the attorney also said that activists from Wisconsin are planning to meet with the victim's family very soon.
Madison police are investigating a break-in at the AT&T on the Near East Side this weekend. Police were called Tuesday morning for a report of someone who broke into AT&T's yard. Officers noticed someone cut the fence and stole equipment from the yard. If you have any information, call the Madison Police Department or Madison Area Crime Stoppers if you'd like to remain anonymous.
And just a short distance away, Madison police are also investigating a break-in at Madison Gas and Electric, also Tuesday morning. MG&E employees called police after noticing their fence had been forced open, and a construction trailer was broken into with tools and equipment stolen. Police have not said whether these two incidents are linked.
Dane County is looking at getting rid of special elections. At tonight's county board meeting, this ordinance looks to change how vacant chair positions are filled. Currently, the ordinance has 3 windows of time to fill a vacancy. 2 of those call for a special election. The third calls for an immediate special election. Board Chair Patrick Miles says the third window adds expenses to local communities.
So what the ordinance amendment does is eliminates that window where there'd be a special election ad hoc, in a sense, and schedule it for a spring election.
There was a special election on June 17th for the downtown Madison District 1 chair. Out of 12,000 registered voters, turnout for that election was roughly 9%.
Governor Tony Evers says that Wisconsin is now part of the U.S. Climate Alliance's Affordable Clean Cars Coalition. It's a multi-state program aimed at expanding access to cleaner and more affordable cars while supporting the U.S. auto industry. Wisconsin and Hawaii are joining 11 other states that launched this coalition back in May, including California, New York, and Washington.
Next on Live at 4, it's been more than a week since the Annunciation Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis.
Students and community members are coming together in the hopes of healing and ensuring something like this never happens again.
Micah Parsons spent time with the Packers on his off day, noticing how committed and close-knit his new teammates are, something he didn't experience in his previous area.
Nice to hear. And Parsons is set to potentially play against the Detroit Lions on Sunday, hinting he's ready to make an impact right away.
So we just spent 15 minutes talking with Micah Parsons, the Packers' new star defensive player, outside the Packers locker room, and we learned a few things about him. One, he came here on Tuesday for treatment for his back, and normally Tuesdays are days off for NFL players, but he found that most of his new teammates were all here on their off day. He said he never encountered that during his time in Dallas, and he found that to be a very interesting sign about how close-knit his new team is and the kind of team he's joining. 2, Packers opening up on Sunday against the Detroit Lions here at Lambeau Field and here on Channel 3. And Micah Parsons says he's never liked Detroit. Felt like he had a rivalry with them during his time in Dallas as well. So providing a little bit of bulletin board fodder for the Lions heading into the opener. And finally, and I thought most interestingly, for a guy that isn't necessarily supposed to be playing on Sunday, and we have to wait and see, boy, he sure talked like a guy who fully expects to be playing in Sunday's game. In fact, he closed our conversation with him by saying he's looking forward to finding out how the Packers plan to unleash him. Don't think they're going to unleash him by having him stand on the sidelines. We will have full coverage of everything Micah Parsons and everything Packers on channel3000.com for free. And while you're there, remember, sign up for our newsletter, which allows you to get our Packers coverage delivered directly to your inbox every single day. At Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
As always, thank you, Jason. We're just a few days away from the Packers' opening game of the regular season, believe it or not, and you can watch it right here on News 3 Now. This Sunday, the Green and Gold take on Detroit at Lambeau Field, the network's pregame show. NFL on CBS will be live in Green Bay at 11 a.m. previewing the matchup, so you can watch all day. Coverage of the game is scheduled for 3:25.
The Wisconsin Huddle returns for its 3rd season next week. We'll be bringing Wisconsin sports directly to you, the fans, at home, with all the exclusive insights from the players and behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Each week we'll have a Badger athlete come on and help host the show. This year's show will be held at Jay's Bar on Francis Street. Filming starts next Monday. The first episode is scheduled to air September 12th at 6:30 p.m. Very exciting sports time.
I know, it's hard to believe.
Also to come on Live at 4, the Packers are unveiling their menu ahead of the regular season.
That looks fancy. We'll take a look at what's new and the returning classics. We are taking a live look right now. Oh, gorgeous. Honolulu, Hawaii. It's current 82 and partially sunny there, but Category 4 Hurricane Kiko could bring heavy rainfall and some high surf early next week. But luckily, that hurricane is 1,700 miles away, expected to fall to a Category 1 before landfall.
That's a big relief. Well, back here in Wisconsin, the winds are picking up and some in our area could be getting some rain. Here's Blaze with what we can expect. Blaze?
That's right. The rainfall is going to occur overnight, wrapping up by the early morning hours on Friday. Then we're left with a very beautiful Friday night for Friday night football and a very pleasant Saturday and Sunday. Both days partly to mostly sunny. Winds are going to remain light out of the west or northwest, and it is going to feel fall-like, low to mid 60s, both Saturday and Sunday. But Friday, while we will start off cloudy, we're going to clear throughout the day, but it is going to be breezy. We'll take a look at some of those top wind gusts that we're expecting to end the work week in just a moment. And as I just mentioned, the weekend is staying cool. We're kind of in that point of the year where we're saying goodbye to the severe weather, but we're not quite cold enough to start talking about snow or any type of winter storm. So we're in this period of the year where we kind of get a little ease when it comes to maybe rain chances or even thunderstorm chances. So let's talk about why it's going to be windy. This is really what I like to do. I like to explain the weather to folks at home so that they can understand, and then they can understand the forecast a little bit better as well. The reason why it's going to be so windy tomorrow is because we have a quick moving low pressure system, which center is going to be passing through kind of Door County tomorrow. And we have a very quickly moving incoming high pressure system. That change in pressure, while this is a relatively short distance, is happening very quickly. The closer these lines are together, that's the change in pressure at the surface. So when you get these lines closer and closer together, the breezier it's going to be. Wind is sometimes caused by change in temperature, sometimes change in pressure. This time, it's the change in pressure because we're quickly moving this low out and we're moving this high pressure system in. So this is the reason why it's going to be breezy, not only tomorrow, but likely beginning overnight into the early morning hours on Saturday. Some of these wind gusts could be topping upwards of 25 to 30 to 35 miles per hour. The closer you are to that center of low pressure, so further north and east, the higher those wind gusts are going to be. You're closer to that center of low pressure where all that twisting is going on. But these winds are going to be out of the northwest, and they will be dying down as we go further overnight Friday into early Saturday. So any Friday night football games, you are going to need that jacket because it is going to be a bit of a windy and maybe chilly end to the work week. But as we head into the weekend, those winds are going to be dying down. However, waking up Sunday morning, some of us could be in the upper 30s. To low 40s. We're not quite done with this fall-like weather yet. But it is going to be perfect fall-like weather for when the Badgers take on the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders on Saturday, kickoff at 3 p.m. And if you're heading up to Lambeau on Sunday, another gorgeous day for football. You can also catch it here on Channel 3 as well. There's a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. Not much in the way of rain chances until we get into the middle of next week. Also, by the middle of next week, we're back into the 70s.
Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Well, families are continuing to heal after a deadly Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis. And we're learning more about the heroes and the helpers.
One group is dedicated to making sure survivors are supported. Caroline Cummings has their story.
When tragedy struck Annunciation and children were rushed to nearby hospitals, 10 patients landed at HCMC in downtown Minneapolis, and a team trained to show up and show support was there too.
We are in this position to be a light to individuals and family during their dark time.
Larry Burgess and Rico Amos are part of the Next Step program. Their job is to be there for survivors of violence and help connect them to resources as they navigate moving forward with their trauma and grief.
Like, we don't say victims, we say survivors. And so, they are survivors, and it's important to know that, really they're not alone in this.
And last Wednesday, when a church and school community was changed forever, they were there for the families too.
And I want to recognize the really special team we have.
Burgess and Amos stood alongside their colleagues as they were recognized for that work at a press conference one day after the tragedy. The Next Step team held families' hands and prayed with them as they waited patiently to learn how their loved one was doing.
Just being that calm presence, letting them know that, hey, we're with you during this time right here. that tends to go a long way.
The two of them say the tragedy hit them hard too, but they say carrying an emotional load is worth it if it means taking the weight off the shoulders of survivors.
That's one of the things I've explored throughout the years is grief and trauma is something that's, you're going to be working on pretty much the rest of your life.
Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
And the Next Step program is also at Abbott Northwestern North Memorial and Children's, Minnesota. We'll be right back.
If you're more of a foodie than a football fan, this one's for you. Each year ahead of the home opener, the Packers unveil new food creations fans will have the chance to enjoy at the concession stands.
Now, food quality and experience have been a focus for the Packers, but for other teams, affordability has become more of a factor.
Ben Krumholz looks at whether that's something you could see at Lambeau Field.
There's plenty of picture-worthy new food at Lambeau Field this year, including brat egg rolls, summer sausage grilled cheese sandwiches, and barbecue pulled pork on Hawaiian rolls.
We always start off early in the year. Our chef team gets together, we do some ideation meetings, and then we just start cooking and tasting food.
If you're more concerned about your bank account rather than your Instagram when eating and drinking at a Packers game, don't expect to see discounted prices anytime soon. The Atlanta Falcons started that trend with its new stadium in 2017. $2 hot dogs and sodas and $5 small domestic beers among the offerings that remain today. The Baltimore Ravens followed their lead in 2018. And this week, they announced an expansion of offerings, all priced below $5. Is that something the Packers have been looking at all?
One of the things we focus on at Lambeau is really getting people back into the seats and thinking about the ways that we can improve the experience through speed of service and quality.
Eric Sampson, general manager of Delaware North at Lambeau Field, says there will always be fan concerns about pricing, but he says most feedback received on concessions has been positive, especially on changes made with grab-and-go offerings.
And they can get back before halftime's over, and if they have to run up and get a Coke or a beer or a brat real quick, they can do that under minutes, where it used to be much longer.
Sampson says the team reviews regional pricing, trying to be closer to the median. This year, a 16-ounce domestic beer at Lambeau Field will be $10.99, a 20-cent increase from last season. A regular hot dog is $7.49, a 50-cent jump.
We're really thoughtful to make sure we're not leading in any of those spaces.
A discounted concession menu is something a handful of NBA teams have also tried in recent years. The Milwaukee Brewers have one with its 414 menu. Teams certainly wouldn't advertise if these lowered prices didn't work out and had to be raised back up. We tried to find news reports pointing out where that has happened, but our online search came up empty. As for the new and obscure, Lambeau's head chef says popularity increases as the season goes on.
But I think once people give them a try, then we see the sales kind of creep up every game throughout the year.
A variety of outlets have put out reports comparing concession and ticket prices at NFL venues. Lambeau Field consistently ranks near the middle of the pack.
I didn't think I was going to be on camera and I was making a face.
Oh, that's okay. You were thinking about all the snacks over there.
All the vegetarian elements that they talked about.
Yeah, sometimes the prices are a far cry from when my grandpa would take me to the Metrodome in Minneapolis for a Vikings game. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I can forgive you. Exactly. We'll talk weather.
Yes, it's going to be a rainy night out there, but the rain wraps up by the time we all wake up on Friday and we sit underneath quiet conditions through the weekend.
We'll be right back. Tomorrow on Live at 4, we sit down with Dr. Zorba Pastor to talk about childhood immunizations, COVID vaccines for adults, and updated RSV vaccinations. And later on News 3 Now at 5, Arman Rahman continues our coverage of a Madison priest who is already facing child sex crime charges, but now he's at the center of new allegations. Thanks for joining us on Live at 4 today. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow. You can always catch us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.